If you love bad movie night as much as I do, but you're looking for your next movie, you're not sure what to watch, may I suggest literally any of these ones. Hallmark movies are a great choice for bad movie night, but it can be really overwhelming, like which one do you pick? Because there's literally thousands. But I've done the dirty work for you and I found the 10 worst Hallmark movies of all time. I hope you can pick one of these for your next movie night and have a truly terrible time. Let's dive right into it. Number 10, we have Christmas for Keeps. Now this one is actually fairly recent, a 2021 Hallmark movie. It's a Christmas one, but it's a little bit different. The general premise, I'm not gonna spoil any of these so you can watch them and enjoy them. But the general premise of this one is it is Christmas time and a close-knit group of childhood friends return home after 10 years to take part in a celebration of life for their beloved high school teacher. So Christmas, but also death. So a little bit different. A couple of reviews that stood out for this one. This movie tries so hard it hurt to watch. And also, the female lead was physically expressionless in her face, which made her look like, well, nothing. I don't mean to be rude, but the Botox in these young women has to stop. Number 9, we have another Christmas movie. This is Christmas by the Books from 2018. They did try changing the title of this one, which I love when they change the titles. So Christmas by the Book can also be referred to as A Christmas for the Books. A relationship expert is tasked with planning a Christmas gala in hopes of landing her own TV show. If you are bored and you have a couple of hours to kill, reading the IMDb reviews for Hallmark movies is truly a wonderful experience. And one of my favorite things is when all of the reviews mention one particular thing. And this happens a couple of times with this list. In particular, for Christmas by the Book, people were really upset at the weight of the protagonist. Now you might be thinking, oh no, we're fat shaming. No, literally the opposite. The lead actress has to be a size 0 and didn't look healthy. The makeup was horrible. No chemistry between anyone. Plot wasn't even that good. Acting horrible and could not watch the too thin actress. Bad movie, bad acting, and the lead actress is too thin. Number 8, we have Mismatched. So this is from 2016. It is a wedding planner who loves like designing romantic fairy tale weddings for her clients. But of course there's no romance in her life, but she falls for a guy who is an author of a book, Wedding Day Do's and Don'ts. Unfortunately, their blossoming romance is threatened when she discovers that his book is a primer for getting married on the cheap. Completely incompatible with everything she believes in. Yes, that is the conflict of this movie. They're both like in the wedding profession, but she's like fairy tale expensive weddings and he has a book about getting married on the cheap. And she's upset about that. Incredible. I don't even think AI could come up with this concept. A lot of people were absolutely confused and shocked by the ending of this one. The ending of this movie was the worst Hallmark ending I have ever seen. I expect unrealistic from a romance movie, but this goes beyond unrealistic. I usually enjoy a good amount of Hallmark movies, even though they're not amazing, but this one was the worst movie I've ever seen. It made absolutely no sense and was just bizarre. The person who wrote this movie had to have been inebriated. Number 7, we have another wedding Hallmark. This is For Better or For Worse from 2014. And if you can believe it, and you probably can, this is not the last wedding Hallmark on this list. Opposites attract when wedding planner Wendy and divorce attorney Marco find their lives suddenly intertwined. Wendy is settling into single life after struggling with her husband's death. After a difficult season of grief, she's taken over the family business of coordinating the town's most beautiful and memorable weddings. However, the charming and incredibly irritating Marco opens shop as a divorce attorney right next to her wedding chapel. The common review for this film is that people were really upset that there's a huge age gap between the love interests, and you might be thinking like stereotypically it's an old man and the woman is too young. No, think the opposite. Pairing a 51-year-old woman and a 37-year-old man who looks 30 was not a good idea when they could have easily properly cast this male lead. It was just ridiculous. Not to mention that both of their kids were supposed to be 22, which means he would have been 15 when he had his daughter. By this reasoning, she could practically have been his mother in this movie instead of his romantic interest. Another one of my favorite Hallmark reviews is when they purposely join IMDb so they can leave a review, and we get one of those with this film. This has to be the worst film, if you can even call it that, ever. The acting was wooden, as if they were not even trying. There was no depth to the characters, and to be honest, I have seen more convincing kids nativities. The storyline was predictable and flat, and the age gap between the characters was just plain weird. I joined IMDb today with the sole purpose of warning people so they don't have to suffer like I did. I'm at a loss to see how this was ever released and can't imagine anyone enjoying this except to laugh at it. My advice would be to spare yourself the agony, maybe go to work, because trust me, that will be more entertaining. Number 6, we have The Heiress and the Handyman. This is a brand new one from 2024. After losing her fortune, an heiress moves to a rural farm where she mistakes her handsome neighbor for the handyman. To live up to her family's legacy, he helps her compete at a county fair. So we get all the tropes in this one. Woman leaves big town, big city living to go back to her rural, country farm life. She meets the man next door. There's mistaken identity, and they go to a county fair. What more can you ask for? The reviews, not happy. I don't know why this movie was ever created, but it should go in the vault, never to return. The lack of chemistry was present, and her overacting was full-on cringe. The quality of this movie was horrendous. This review made me laugh out loud. It's so funny what some people hyperfixate on. This is absolutely the worst wig I have ever seen in my life. It was hideous. It was hard to look at. If it's not a wig, do something. This was not the only review talking about the wig, if you can believe it. For number 5, we have Christmas Bedtime Stories from 2022. So this is another twist on a Christmas Hallmark movie because quite frankly, it's about the dead dad. Left to raise her daughter alone after her husband goes MIA and is presumed dead, Danielle starts to tell her daughter bedtime stories about her father. So we get Christmas, we get dead dads, kind of like that other Christmas movie with the dead high school teacher. I don't really know why we're here, but we're here. Everyone in the reviews for this movie were really angry by the ending. People said it was shocking, people said it was unrealistic, but also people said it was really disrespectful, which is so fascinating. So if you happen to watch this movie, let me know what you think about the ending. For number 4, we are still in the Christmas Hallmark vein. This is A Cheerful Christmas from 2019. And unfortunately for everyone who watched this movie, they did not find it cheerful. Meet Lauren, a Christmas enthusiast who has turned her love for the holidays into a career. When the aristocrat Anderson family hires her, her mission is clear, making Christmas into a magical event for them. Lauren then meets the handsome son, James. James is infected by her Christmas spirit, love is in the air, until his old childhood friend enters the scene. This is another common Christmas narrative. One of the couple, one of the love interests loves Christmas, the other doesn't. They're trying to show the meaning of Christmas, but then a love interest, a love triangle creates itself. This review stood out to me. I had to create an IMDb account just to post this. I have to say this is the worst movie the Hallmark Channel has ever made. Where did they get this lead actress? This was some of the worst acting I've ever seen in a Hallmark movie, and I'll admit there's been a lot. Just come on. Number 3, we have Save the Wedding from 2021. Again, another Hallmark wedding film. They did try and change the title of this one, so it goes by Save the Wedding, but it also goes by A Walk Down Wedding Lane. Unfortunately, the title change really hasn't helped this movie. When a series of wedding planning setbacks raised the bride's doubts, maid of honor Meg and best man Tyler put their old differences aside to restore the couple's faith in love with a walk down memory lane. The reviews on this one were scathing, and that's why this is number 3 on our list. Probably one of the worst movies ever on the Hallmark Channel. Storyline, directing, acting, it was all terrible. It was so painful to watch. I couldn't even get through half of it. There was no life to it. No chemistry anywhere, felt like I was watching a middle school play, and lately, even those are better than this. This review I thought was so fascinating, someone defending Hallmark. For all of you saying, oh my god, Hallmark's lost their mind and has gone bad, this is not Hallmark. This is showing on Hallmark in August 2021 as an acquired movie that was made by another company that is not Hallmark. Get your facts together before you automatically assume it's Hallmark. Gee whiz. Everyone just automatically assumes what they think is right. Now this may be true. Hallmark sometimes acquires movies from other production companies, but it is listed on the Hallmark website and it is advertised as a Hallmark production. So do with that what you will. It sounds truly hilarious either way. Number 2, this one is totally different. It's from 2012, which kind of makes sense. That's kind of the dark ages of Hallmark. This one is Meddling Mom. Carmen is guilty of being a meddling mom. Her crimes include slipping into her daughter's home to leave behind how-to books on starting a family and manipulating her other daughter into a doomed relationship with her best friend's son. Honestly, this whole movie sounds like a crime. This review made me laugh out loud. I love the commitment to the bit. Vapid, mindless, shallow, hollow, insipid, boring. Actually, calling it shallow implies it has little depth. It has absolutely no depth. It is thoroughly uninspiring, uninteresting, and boring. Furthermore, it is uninspired, colorless, uninteresting, feeble, flat, dull, boring, tedious, tired. You get the idea. And finally, for number 1 worst Hallmark ever, we have Christmas, we have pets, we have weddings with a Christmas wedding tale. Tale as in like a dog's tail. Get it? Christmas Wedding Tale is the story of a pair of passionate pooches, Labrador Rusty and Poodle Sherry, who fall head over heels in love. The two smitten pups conspire to get their respective owners to wed. Despite the owners' compatibility, their new blended family turns out to be much more than they bargained for. So, if you're into Hallmark, wedding, talking animals, Christmas, this is literally the trifecta. This review perfectly encapsulates what it's like watching a bad Hallmark movie. Nothing but pain is brought upon this movie. I feel a piece of my soul has been taken from me unwillingly, and all that's left to fill that void is the agony that is this movie. Please do not watch this if you have any respect for yourself or the people you care about, for there is nothing to be gained with this movie, only there to be lost within the infinite void that is a Christmas wedding tale. If you watch any of these movies for your next bad movie night, let me know how it goes. If you like making fun of Hallmark movies, may I suggest checking out this video. I watched the worst football romance Hallmark movie. It was just truly hilarious. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!